Welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. Today is Friday Reads again, and I thought I'd talk about, as usual, the things that I've read this week. I have 3 things finished to talk to you guys about. We'll do the physical book first because it's the one I finished most recently, and that is Rental Person Who Does Nothing, which is a memoir of Shoji Morimoto. And Shoji Morimoto was working in a job where he was basically making like test prep educational materials for school systems, and from what he says, he found it deeply depressing and uninspiring, and he didn't enjoy his work, and so he quit. And he is currently living off of savings, and he is doing this thing called Rental Person Who Does Nothing, where he rents himself out. He doesn't actually take payment for what he does, but he goes where people needs him. I don't think that's proper English. He goes where someone needs him to go, but he does nothing while he's there. He can only say simple responses to people's things. So, for example, a lady wanted to try a Starbucks drink that was seasonal and it was new, but she doesn't normally finish those drinks, and she felt it was wasteful to go buy the drink and not finish it. So she said, "Come with me. You don't have to talk to me much. We just will try the drink and then we'll leave." That's what he did. He's been in courtrooms behind a defendant or behind a plaintiff as just a body to support them. He has walked with someone through a park, simple tasks that people want another person there. And he talks about that and what he thinks about that kind of a role in this. I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting to see someone who fulfills those type of roles for people in Japan. One, the culture is a little different, obviously, yeah. And the approach that people take to this sort of thing. Loneliness is an epidemic for a lot of cultures and groups of people. And he talks a little bit about being lonely and a little bit about money and where he feels uncomfortable doing. I found it interesting. I did. I don't know that I would super recommend it for anything very insightful, but if it's a fascinating idea and you want to see more of what his life is like and the things he's kind of done, it's well worth a read. It was fun. It was relatively quick when I sat down to read it. And it's a very nice book. The pages are really pretty and really thin, so it felt good to read, but it wasn't hugely impactful, Anyway. And then I finished 2 arcs, one of which I loved and one of which I didn't love. We'll talk about that one first. So I read Herculine, I think is how you would say it, by Grace Byron. This is a queer horror novel. Another horror novel that didn't work for me. This one, I'm pretty sure the only thing that really killed it, and it was a huge handicap, is the writing style is very stream of consciousness, and we are following this what was her name? I can't remember her actual name because it's in her mind first person, or if it even tells us her name. I'm sure it does. She is a trans woman who is kind of struggling with where she's at and what she's doing. She's floating around and she ends up getting a message from an ex-girlfriend who is like, "Hey, I have created this community. Come check it out." So she goes, okay. She ends up going to this community and she gets trapped there, and there's a lot more there than just a community. And on top of that she has always been able to see demons, and they always kind of lurk in the edges of her vision. So I went in expecting a cult vibe with some spooky ghost demon thing, and it was mostly this trapped narrative in her mind where she's reflecting back on her past. Some of where she's at, most of it is spent in the past. Thinking about the past, thinking about, transitioning, thinking about trans women and loving women, and then versus going out with cis men and all this stuff. It was very, the word I want's not cerebral, but you were very much just trapped in her mind. And I was looking for more of the ooky spooky, like I said. There is some stuff that should have been scary, but because of the length of time it took to get there, and how exhausted I was by the rest of the narrative getting there, I was like, oh, cool. Giant bug demons, All right. Oh, that was gross. Cool. You're numb at that point. It didn't work well for me. If you like a trapped in the mind of someone, every single thought, stream of consciousness type of thing, this could really be good for you. I really think it'll work for you. And I think if you want less horror and more of that thinking on things, you'll enjoy it. And you also really need to be okay with time jumps that are not clearly like marked. So we will just be in the middle of a paragraph thinking or talking about sitting in a car, and all of a sudden we're like 3 years in the past, actively like it's present day, like it's just a time jump in the middle of it. It was very strange. It just didn't work for me personally. That's all right. You know what? It's not everything's gonna work for us. So, oh well. I was kind of hoping for some more A Game in Yellow vibes. I really loved A Game in Yellow that I read a couple months ago. This just didn't quite hit the same mark. That's all right. And the last thing that I finished that I'll talk about is Hold Me Like a Grudge by Celine Ong. I hope I'm saying that right. This is the one that I mentioned last week. It's low-hanging fruit. I know it's professional wrestling. You watch a match and it's like the script, right? You know, it writes itself. But this was so thoughtfully done, so well done. You can tell that the author is a fan of professional wrestling. They took their time. They paid attention. She used like actual... like, she knows the industry, she knew the back of it, and it shows. It's from someone who appreciates, respects, and enjoys professional wrestling, and I loved that. I meant to wear one of my wrestling shirts, so I was going to wear CM Punk, but I ended up in Mothman. Anyway, this is about two men. One is a heel, which is a bad guy, quote unquote, and one is an up-and-coming baby face, or just a face, and that's like the good guys. And they are set to have this clash. One's gonna, one has the belt, the heel has the belt, and the babyface is gonna take it. And it is they meet in the ring one of them, he thinks it's for the first time, but the other guy is like, I've met you before and you were a snot. I didn't like you. And it's them kind of meeting each other again and finding out the reality behind it. And our heel, he's been trapped in this role in the company of playing this heel, this bad guy. He is the quintessential bad guy. He's like I think the Ice Prince is one of his monikers. He wears a crown. He has like this throne that comes up, and like he's trapped because he's being manipulated and abused by one of the lead writers, if not like the lead guy. It was giving very Vince McMahon. I think that was his name. It's one of those kind of a roles. It's Caleb and Asher. I had to look them up. Caleb is like the like Ice Prince, and Asher is this up and coming guy. He's going to be the babyface to Caleb's heel, and he's going to take Caleb's belt. And Asher has this dragon moniker. He's a high flyer, which means he climbs up on the ropes of the ring and he dives in on people, which is very fun. It's one of the reasons why I really enjoy the lucha libras that WWE has now. One of my favorite fighters is Penta. He's a ropes guy. He does a lot of ropes stuff, and he's very fast and speedy. And Asher gave me a very similar feeling. Anyway, they meet and they have this clash because, they are supposed to be rivals. And hold on, my light. There we go. It's a little different lighting. They kind of develop this relationship off stage, and it becomes a friendship, and then it becomes more, and just this was great. I did have a few little things that I didn't love. Like, I gave this a 5-star, but for me that was just an absolute like vibes. I enjoyed it sort of thing. It's not perfect. I didn't like the continued use of the word boy, even though these guys are like tall, muscular, going out and beating each other up. They're clearly men. They occasionally referred to each other as boy, or the narrative referred to them as boy, and I thought that was weird and I didn't care for that. And the ending was a bit saccharine. It was very sweet. It was a little like too sweet almost, but I want there to be more. I want to continue in this world. We had a cast of fantastic characters I'd like to see more of. I want to see more of Bates, who is like Asher's mentor. We have a few other female wrestlers, a gender fluid wrestler. I'd like to see more of those characters and where they go. And there is almost at this point in romance books, the stereotypical Russian guy who has like a lactose intolerance or something. He cracked me up. I want to see more of him again as well. So this was really fun. If you like romance, if you are a wrestling fan, I would say try it. Let me know what you think. If you're not a wrestling fan, I also want to know what you think. Robin from Paperbacks and Planners also has an e-arc of this. This doesn't come out till March, but she also has an arc, and so I would say follow her to see what she thinks as someone who's not a fan of wrestling. I checked with her. I want to see how it comes across for her. But for me, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was very respectful. It did a good job with the sport and how hard it is and what it can do to the body and mind. And just, I feel like I've been talking about it for too long, so I'm going to stop. I really liked it. So what am I currently reading right now? I am listening to Battle Mage Farmer. This is Cultivation. This is book 3. To be honest with you, I've been listening to this for a while. I just stopped there for a big chunk, and then I am just now getting back into it. I think I'm about... here. I think I'm about here. I am about chapter 22, which puts me about almost page 200. So I'm enjoying that. I love Battle Mage Farmer. It's one of my favorite fantasy series that I'm reading right now. I am still reading Apprehension by Mary Robinette Kowal. I was going to finish this week, but I didn't get a lot of reading done. This week has been a bit chaotic as far as like homeschooling and co-op and family and friends stuff. We've been doing a lot of things with those groups and those people. So the only thing physically I got done was this, but I plan on focus firing this down in the next few days. And I am reading on my Kindle. I have Daedalus, I have to look up how to say it, is dead. He was the father of Icarus. This is a novella based around his life, not like fictionally, like where he went and what happened to him afterwards. And I'm also reading the 5th Network Effect. I'm reading Network Effect by Martha Wells, which is the Murderbot book that I skipped to get to the last novella. So that's what have going. I have a lot of things going. I really need to actually like finish some of them. I did get, let me show you the insert for the back of my Kindle. Isn't it cute? I need to link, I will try to remember to link below the Etsy shops that I bought stuff from for my like jazzing up my Kindle. So I'll be sure to link those Etsy shops down below, and I will show you, I don't think I mentioned, I got some mail from Saga Press. I always want to mention that. I got unexpectedly Thursday or Friday night Artifact Space by Miles Cameron. This comes out in, where is it, January 27. This is a military like space opera. I read you the blurb here on the very top. Out in the darkness of space, something is targeting the great ships. With their vast cargo holds and crew, the great ships are the lifeblood of human-occupied space, transporting an unimaginable volume and value of goods from city, the greatest human orbital, all the way to trade point at the other, to trade with an unknowable alien species. So it is about, I believe her name is Navarro, and her ship is Athens, based off this blurb, and it is her trying to figure out who and or what is targeting the great ships. So I love me a good space like opera. And then All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu, which I really want to read. I'm very excited about this. I have the e-arc, I just hadn't gotten to it yet, and so I'm very happy to have received a copy in the mail. This is about Julia Z, a young woman who gained notoriety at 14 as an orphan hacker. She is trying to live a life of digital obscurity in Boston, but when a lawyer named Piers, whose famous artist wife Ellie has been kidnapped by dangerous criminals, barges into her life, she decides to help him. Ellie is an Onanero-fix? I don't know how to say that word. A dream artist who can weave the dreams of an audience together like a shared virtual landscape, live in a concert-like setting by tapping into each attendee's memories and providing an emotionally resonant narrative experience. While the dreams are anonymous, she discovers that she was dreaming one-on-one with the head of an international criminal enterprise, and he's demanding the return of his dreams in exchange for her. So it is about her trying to help this artist and that lawyer. And I love Ken Liu, so I'm excited for that. That is it for Friday Reads today. This one, yeah, it's not too long. I hope I didn't talk about Hold Me Like a Grudge too much, but like, that was a delight to read. It was a delight. I haven't enjoyed a romance novel like that in a hot minute. I've been reading a lot of fantasy and horror, and it was a nice little break. Plus, it's a, a sport that I really enjoy. So, what are you gonna do? Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all are reading down below, and I'll talk to you again next time. Bye.